welcome to your virtual art room. I'm your virtual art teacher, Miss Pomranke, and today I am so excited to bring you the pop-up card. That's right. Today we are going to be making our very own pop-up cards. Let's get started. For this project, you're going to need at least 2 pieces of paper. Cardstock or other thick construction paper works best, but if all you have is copy paper like me, that's fine too. You'll also need a pencil, an eraser, a pair of scissors, and something to color with. I'm using markers today, but you can use whatever you feel like using. We'll start with our first piece of paper. This will be the bird's body. Fold your paper in half, short side to short side. Push down, crease in the middle, then crease the rest. This is all we're going to do with this paper for now. Put it to the side and grab your next piece of paper. On our second piece of paper, we're going to fold about 3 fingers width from the short side. This will be for our beak. I'm lining up my folded edge with the top and bottom of the paper so the fold is straight. Now I'll cut on the fold. I'm going to save the rest of this paper to make wings and feathers and feet. On the strip I just cut out, I'm going to color one side yellow. Now we're going to fold this strip in half, short side to short side. We'll cut it in half on the fold, so we have 2 pieces. Now we're going to flip both pieces over so that the white side is showing. And we'll fold them both in half, short side to short side. Open them back up so that you can see the white side. And you should be able to see where the fold is. We're going to fold this side on an angle so that the top edge here lines up with the fold. Check it out. Just like that. Let's do this side. Remember, the top edge is going to line up with the fold. Perfect. Let's do the second piece. Do you remember how? The top edge folds down to meet the center fold in the paper. See how it comes to a nice point there? Top edge, line it up with the fold. You might notice that there's a little extra bit right here. We're going to use our scissors and trim that off. If you want the inside of your bird's beak to be red, then you're going to color just these 2 triangles. If you color the middle, it tends to bleed through to the front, and then your beak has weird spots on it. See what I mean? We don't need to color this part because it doesn't really show anyway. Now we're ready to glue it on our first piece of paper. Do you remember that one? We folded it in half at the very beginning. We're going to take these strips that we just finished coloring and fold the tabs in again. We'll place them with the yellow side facing us. The bottom beak is going to have the triangle tip pointed down towards the bottom of the paper, and the top half of the beak will point up. It's time to glue our beak down to our paper. You can use white glue or a glue stick like me. It's up to you. The glue needs to go on the back side where those two flaps are. And when I glue it on, I'm going to try to line up the fold in the beak with the fold in the paper. And I'm pressing it down nice and firmly so that it stays glued. I'll do the other one now. Lining up the fold in the beak with the fold in the paper. And pressing firmly. Now I should have a yellow diamond in the middle of my paper. And if I close my card and then open it again, it should look like my mouth is opening and closing. Pretty cool, right? Now I can use my black marker to draw the eyes and body on my bird. I could leave my bird like this, but it's a little bit boring. Do you remember that paper that I used to make my beak? I'm going to use it to make wings and feathers for the head and feet. We'll start by folding it in half. And on one side, you're going to draw one wing, nice and big, with some feathers. And some feathers for the head. Also draw some feet. As you can see, it took me 3 tries to get feet that I liked. And now I'm going to color them in. You probably noticed I only made one of each. Since I folded my paper in half at the beginning, I'll end up with 2 of each when I cut them out. I just need to make sure that I keep my paper folded while I'm cutting. And I'll want to color this one exactly the same as I colored the first one. Do you think I need another feather for that head? I think I should make one. To keep coloring, making sure that my white ones are colored the same as the first ones that I colored. Okay, I'm done with all my pieces. Now, I could just glue them on like this. But this is a pop-up card, and it's way more fun if things pop up and move. So what I'm going to do for the wings is I'm going to fold back just a little bit of this edge, like that. And I'm going to put the glue on that edge that I folded back. Glue this wing on. There we go. And now this wing sticks out a little bit. Doesn't that look cool? We'll do the same thing over here. Fold it back, put on a little glue, and stick it on. Oops, I think this one is a little lower than the other one. Let's move it up a little bit. Is that good? Yeah. Now to make my head feathers stick up, we're going to use the same strategy that we used for the bottom half of the beak. Do you remember what to do? We'll cut a rectangle out of our scrap paper. And it doesn't have to be very big, and it certainly doesn't have to be perfect. And I'll fold it in half, and then fold this top side to meet the fold in the middle, and this other top side to meet the fold in the middle, and I'll trim off the extra. That's a little too big for my head. It sticks up off the top a little bit. So I'm going to use my pencil, well, I'm using a Sharpie, but you should use a pencil, to draw a guideline there so I can cut it and have it fit on the head where I want it. That fits way better. Now I'm going to glue the feathers to the front side, and I'll glue these flaps on the back to my paper. Let's glue those feathers on first. I'm going to try to cover up as much of the white as possible. Now these feathers can cover up the rest of the white. That's good. Now the back part has these two flaps where I'm going to put the glue. I don't want to get any glue on the feathers. And I'll line that piece up with the fold and press it down. Now if I did my job correctly, the beak should open and the feathers should move. Ah, they do! Check that out. All that's left is the feet. I could glue them on as they are, or I could make them pop out too. Obviously, I want mine to pop out. So on my scrap paper, I'm going to make two skinny rectangles, about the length and width of a finger. If I fold my paper when I'm cutting, then I can cut out two at the same time. For each of these papers, I'm going to make what's called an accordion fold. I'll fold part of it forward, and then I'm going to fold it back. Fold it to the front, fold it to the back. And I've got a little extra there that I'm just going to cut off. Let's do this piece. Fold it to the front, fold it to the back. Fold it to the front, and fold it to the back. Cut off that little extra bit. I'm going to glue my feet onto one end of the paper. And I'll glue the other side to my bird. Now his feet pop out too. One side to the foot, and one side to the bird. Looks like he's ready to land on a branch. Now I can decorate the rest of my bird and my paper. I could give him a branch to sit on. I could hide little things under his wings. I could make a pattern on his body. Anything I choose to make my bird unique and fun to look at. I hope you had fun making art with me today, friends. Please remember to share your work. I can't wait to see it. Till next week.